Why do you think that people quit jiu-jitsu? Give me one reason you think, maybe what you've seen through your years, and this is not, doesn't have to be right, doesn't be wrong. It's your opinion.
Of course.
It's your idea.
Oh, I don't, yeah.
It's what you've seen, the people you've come in contact with through your 20 plus years of grappling experience. Why do you think people quit jiu-jitsu?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. Here's one.
All right, let's do the main one. Then you give me a couple caveats.
Let me get something out of the way first. So what I'm about to say is the main reason I see people leave.
Okay.
But what's interesting is whenever this question comes up, this has been asked on YouTube, people will immediately complain. Well, actually, it's because it costs a lot of money to do jiu-jitsu. And they'll complain.
Bullshit.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. People blow their money on the dumbest shit all the time, bro. Like all the time. I'm like, look, if it's something you really want, you will do it regardless. You'll figure out a way, because I've seen people where they say, oh, I don't have money for training. And then they go to the bar and they blow like $200 in alcohol. I'm like, you made a decision. You getting drunk on a Saturday was your priority more than training for a month, right? Or you'll see people where they'll like, I don't have money to train, but then they'll go out and buy some super expensive, nice car that has like a hefty payment every month. I knew a guy who had a $700 car payment because he had this really nice sports car. I'm like, for what? Like you're car poor. $700, you're car poor, bro. Like, I mean, like
the worst, and talk to anybody, the worst investment.
I mean, he wasn't like he was making like, $500,000 a year. He's a regular dude. So 700 is a big chunk of his payment, like of his wage, right?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, that's a stupid idea. Like, go get something reasonable. Like, who gives a crap about what people think about you in your car that you're driving, right? Again, like, we were making a joke about this the other day. I was like, I could afford a much nicer car than I drive if I wanted to, but I don't care. It's like, who am I going to impress? Like, I'm here I teach jiu-jitsu and I have activities that I find meaningful.
Yeah.
If you really, really like cars and it's something you truly enjoy, then get that car, if you want it, but again, people blow money on whatever they want. So again, people with the money thing.
So that's the reason that you hear?
Well, no. That's just, there's people that like, they get upset when I say what I'm about to say. And again, sometimes if these things make people upset, the reality is it only makes you upset if there's a nerve of truth to it. Like comedy's only funny, or it only offends you if there's some truth to it. Because if it's not remotely true, it's not funny, right? Like when you listen to someone that's the comedic and they make a joke and everybody laughs, it's because it's an exaggeration a lot of times, but there's a thread of truth in there. Or when someone says something to you and it offends you or makes you upset, well, it's because there's some truth into it. Mm-hmm. If it was so preposterous, like I was like, Eugene, you got stupid blue skin, you're weird. I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? Mm-hmm. But if we made fun of something that does affect you, that is you, then there's something there. So people get upset about it, but I'm like, well, that's just because it's true, mm-hmm. right? For a lot of you guys, and you don't want to admit it. Anyway, going to it. And we're not saying money doesn't play a role into it, because it does.
Sure.
But there's always workarounds. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to work around that, from, doing like work for the gym to simply prioritizing something else. I've been there before. Trust me. Anyway.
Clean the mats. Easy. Boom. Yeah. Ask if you can do something.
Or like just shave off money elsewhere. Yeah. I mean, I was a broke kid who worked and I just prioritized it. Mm-hmm. Now, again, that's not everybody's thing, but I prioritized because that's what I enjoyed doing.
Yep.
So I wanted to do it. I didn't have a lot of other hobbies. I had jiu-jitsu. That's what I wanted to do. But going to it, it's because, I mean, again, when it boils down to it, you got to find a reason inside of your heart as to why you want to train. Deep down, you got to find a reason that you want to train that is completely independent from any extrinsic thing that you're chasing after. Right. So again, there's medals that are going to come. There's promotions that are going to come. There's skill progress. There's being in shape. There's all these cool, like, external things that you're chasing, maybe. But then, like, some of this stuff has to come internally from you. Like, what do you want? And like, sometimes it can just be because you enjoy it. Sometimes you can't even, like, for instance, when I was younger, I couldn't even really put my finger on what it was. I just enjoyed being in the gym. And it wasn't until as I got older, I was like, oh, okay, here's all these different things that I enjoy about this experience that have nothing to do with medals or fighting, which is why I originally started training. I started training because I wanted to win fights and I wanted to win jiu-jitsu competitions, right? But then there were all these internal things that were going on that I didn't really realize at the time, but those were the main drivers. And if you find something that is internal to you, that is an intrinsic motivation, something that you want to do regardless of whatever else is going on, then you're good. You're set because you have something that's going to drive you, right? But if you're constantly in need of some sort of external thing, then that's the problem. And you see this where people will like, they get the blue belt and they quit. You were chasing a blue belt instead of like it's something else, right? So you got that and then you quit because you got so excited about the blue belt and puttered out. Or you see people where they'll go to a competition and they'll put so much pressure on themselves. I've seen this happen so many times, and they'll like post about it online. Oh, I'm getting ready for my first competition. And I would have done the same thing, by the way, if I had Facebook when I was like 18, because when I would compete, I would tell everybody about it, right? But then they'll compete and they'll lose and they'll quit. It's like, why? Like, why is it? Why? Like, did God decide that you have to win? Right? These other guys wanted to win too. It's a possibility. I mean, like I lost like there'd be several times I lost like tournaments and I have to go back to work and they were like, how'd it go? I'm like, I got crushed, but it didn't mean I want to quit because I enjoyed doing it. And so I think if you can find things that you enjoy internally to you that are valuable to you on a day-to-day basis, minute by minute basis in the gym, that's what you need. You need something like that. You need something that's going to keep you going regardless of what else is going on. And I think if you can get that and you have a good environment, of course, then you'll be set. Because if you find a reason in your heart as to why you want to do something, I think that's the biggest thing too, is if you search inside your heart as to why you want something, you will make it happen.